Notre Dame Cathedral is truly special. It stands right in the heart of Paris, like a grand old lady watching the city. For centuries it has been a beacon, a symbol of faith, art, and history. So many stories live within its stones. It touches the soul of everyone who visits. Paris would not be Paris without it. This cathedral is more than just a building. It feels like the very spirit of France. When you see Notre Dame, you feel something powerful. It's a connection to the past. Imagine all the people who have stood there looking up at its towers in awe, kings and queens, artists and writers, and ordinary folk just like you and me. The cathedral has welcomed them all. It has a quiet strength, a deep peace. This feeling stays with you long after you leave. It's a memory you will always treasure. Notre Dame reminds us of what we can achieve. It stands for resilience and hope, even after facing terrible disaster. Its spirit continues to shine so brightly. Prepare to be amazed by its grandeur. The story of Notre Dame began long ago, back in the Middle Ages, in 1163. That was when the first stone was laid. Imagine Paris at that time. It was a growing, bustling city. Bishop Maurice de Sully had a big dream. He wanted a magnificent cathedral for Paris, a church that would honor the Virgin Mary and show the importance of the city. It was a huge task, a bold vision. Building Notre Dame took a very long time. Nearly 200 years passed from the first stone to the final touches. Generations of builders worked on it, craftsmen, stonemasons, and artists. They poured their skills and their hearts into it. Using tools that seem simple to us now, they created something truly monumental. Think of their patience and their hard work. It's amazing what they were able to do. The cathedral was built on a sacred site. Even before Christianity, people worshipped here. Romans had a temple on this island. Later, early Christian churches stood here. Notre Dame continued a long tradition of faith on this special spot. Notre Dame is a masterpiece of Gothic art. This style of building was new then. It was revolutionary, exciting, and bold. Gothic architecture aimed for height and light. Builders wanted churches to reach for heaven. They wanted vast spaces filled with color. Pointed arches were a key feature. These arches could carry more weight and directed the eye upwards, making the building feel incredibly tall. Another clever Gothic idea was the ribbed vault. These crisscrossing arches supported the roof and distributed the weight very efficiently. This meant walls could be thinner, and they could have huge windows. No more dark, heavy Romanesque churches. Gothic churches felt light and airy. Sunlight could stream in through stained glass, creating a magical, heavenly atmosphere inside. Flying buttresses are another Gothic marvel. You can see these arches on the outside. They look like graceful arms supporting the walls. These buttresses took the weight of the roof and the pressure of the wind. Without flying buttresses, it wouldn't be possible. The outside of Notre Dame is incredible, especially the famous west facade. This is the main entrance with its two towers. It's like a giant storybook made of stone. Every statue and carving has a meaning, telling Bible stories to people. Many people in the Middle Ages could not read, so these carvings were their lessons. They showed scenes from the Old Testament and the life of Jesus and the saints. Look closely at the three main doorways. These are called portals, rich with sculpture. The central portal shows the Last Judgment. You can see Christ deciding who goes to heaven and who goes to hell. A serious message. To its right, a portal honors Saint Anne. She was the mother of the Virgin Mary. To its left, a portal is dedicated to Mary, showing her coronation as Queen of Heaven. These scenes are so detailed and dramatic. Above the portals, there is a row of statues. This is the Gallery of Kings. It shows 28 kings from the Old Testament. These figures link the cathedral to ancient royalty and to the kings of France too. The stained glass windows of Notre Dame are treasures. They are like giant colorful jewels, especially the three magnificent rose windows. These circular windows are huge and intricate. They date back to the 13th century. Imagine the skill it took to make them. Cutting tiny pieces of colored glass and fitting them together in lead frames to create these stunning works of art. They are a wonder of medieval craftsmanship. The north rose window is remarkably preserved. It shows figures from the Old Testament surrounding the Virgin Mary at its center. The colors are deep blues and reds. When sunlight shines through, it's magical. The south rose window is equally grand. It features Christ surrounded by apostles and saints. This window has a more golden, fiery glow. Both windows are about 13 meters across. That's like the height of a 4-story building. The west rose window is above the main entrance. It is smaller than the north and south roses, but it is still incredibly beautiful. Notre Dame has seen so much history. It has been at the center of French life for over 800 years. Imagine the coronations held here. Henry VI of England was crowned King of France right inside these very walls in 1431, and Napoleon Bonaparte crowned himself emperor. He took the crown from the Pope in 1804, a powerful statement made in this sacred place. These events shaped the course of nations. Royal weddings also graced the cathedral. Mary, Queen of Scots, married here. She wed the Dauphin of France in 1558. Many other French kings and queens celebrated important moments at Notre Dame. It was the royal church for centuries. Funerals of great leaders were held here too. The cathedral shared in the joys and the sorrows of the French nation. Its bells rang out for victories and for mourning. Victor Hugo's famous novel also played a part. The Hunchback of Notre Dame was published in 1831. It brought the cathedral to life for readers, telling the story of Quasimodo and Esmeralda. The book was a huge success. On April 15, 2019, tragedy struck. A terrible fire broke out at Notre Dame. The world watched in shock and disbelief. Flames leaped from the roof of the cathedral. Smoke billowed high into the Paris sky. People gathered in the streets nearby. Many were crying, many were praying. It felt like a part of history was vanishing. A part of Paris itself was being lost. The sight was heartbreaking for so many. The fire raged for many hours. Brave firefighters fought with all their might. They risked their lives to save the cathedral. Their main goal was to save the stone structure and the iconic twin towers on the west facade. They also worked to rescue precious relics and artwork stored inside Notre Dame. The ancient oak roof was consumed by flames, and the famous spire added in the 19th century crashed down in a cloud of fire and smoke. The damage was immense, truly devastating. The roof was gone. The spire had fallen. Parts of the stone vaulting had collapsed. Water and debris filled the interior. The restoration of Notre Dame began quickly. It has been a huge and complex task, one of the biggest heritage projects ever. Experts from all over France came together, architects, engineers, and skilled craftspeople. Their mission to bring Notre Dame back, to restore its former glory, piece by piece, using both traditional skills and new technology. It's a labor of love and dedication, a testament to human skill and resilience. One of the first jobs was to secure the building, to make sure it was stable and safe. Temporary supports were put in place. Then came the careful cleaning, removing soot and debris from the stones, and from the precious stained glass windows. Every step has been meticulous and precise. Researchers studied old plans and drawings to ensure the restoration is authentic, respecting the original Gothic design. A major milestone was rebuilding the spire. The new spire was designed to be identical to the one designed by Viollet-le-Duc, the one that fell in the fire. Now is a wonderful time to think about visiting, to see Notre Dame as it rises anew. Witnessing the restoration is part of its story, a new chapter in its long history. You can feel the energy of renewal, the dedication of those who are rebuilding it. Even if some areas are still being worked on, the majesty of the cathedral shines through. It's a chance to see history in the making, and to appreciate its enduring beauty. When you visit, take your time. Walk around the outside, admire the facades, see the new spire pointing to the sky. If you can go inside, absorb the atmosphere. Look up at the soaring vaults, marvel at the colors of the rose windows, think of all the centuries of prayer and all the history these walls have seen. It's a place that invites quiet reflection, a place to connect with something bigger. Your visit also supports the cathedral. It shows solidarity with this global treasure. The efforts to restore and maintain it continue. Notre Dame belongs to the world. It's a legacy we must protect for the future, so that generations to come can also experience it. They too can feel its power and its peace. Your presence is a part of that support, a way of saying this place matters.